you're also getting back into yourself. You talked about it very recently, that the form coming back, being able to feel yourself, especially after a rough year last year with the injuries and everything coming back from it. How do you feel for these games?
I feel really good. I think coming into January camp, feeling good, getting those goals, and then now kind of getting my feet under me and building going into the summer, and then next year I think I'm just focused on executing and being consistent in the final third. Everything else I work really hard in, but I need to be precise in everything that I do so I can continue to be the top player that I always want to be.
You're obviously going to face Japan. The last time you saw this team was in the She Believes Cup in that final. It was a really tough match. How do you see what's so important about facing a team that is this developed?
I think they're just obviously a very smart team. I think it's changed a little bit over the years, just them becoming more of a direct team rather than holding as much possession, but very technical team. They love to have possession, but for us, I think it's patience is the biggest part, and then finding the areas to exploit in the final third, because again, if you're not making the right decisions in the final third, then we're not going to have the outcome that we want. So just being smart in those moments that we can take advantage.
And I asked Linz about this, but the last time you guys played at PayPal Park with the national team, it was a loss against Brazil. But that team that Emma was building, it's kind of coming to fruition, right? Like it was these new players getting their steps, a lot of younger players. Now they're very important for this team. How do you see this game coming back to this stadium, but now with a much more developed idea of what Emma's trying to find?
Yeah, I never view losses as a bad thing because it helps us grow a lot, and we find the little things that people might not see that we're weak in. So that was an opportunity for us to grow, and we've been building and growing since then. But for us, again, it's just now having a more consistent roster with similar players. It's building those connections so we can be on the same page in every area of the field, and we're not almost guessing because we're rotating so much. It's building a really good foundation and then continuing to grow the connections.
And the last one, obviously, also the role of the younger players now that they have more caps, and we just talked to Claire. You also have Sedner. You have a lot of young players that now have a lot more caps with the national team. What's so important about having this talented roster with so many young players?
I mean, I think it's great, and having a coach like Emma and having such amazing leaders. Everyone's so confident. We don't view the younger players as inexperienced because they are so confident out on the field, and they're getting more and more experience. So to play top opponents, I think is great. Having She Believes in all these big games is good for them, but also I think having a very comfortable, loving and caring environment also gives them the ability to be the best that they can be.
Trinity, Claire's still new to the Bay Area. What would you tell Bay FC fans that they're getting in her as a player?
I mean, obviously an amazing player, but I would say consistency. She's so strong for us and any team that she plays for. I don't know, I feel like she's the glue in the middle, and a lot of people view her that way. She's very strong, she's very smart, and I don't know, I feel like you always know what to expect out of her. She's never going to have a bad game, which, knock on wood, but she's a great player and I respect her so much.
What was that like a few months ago when you got to hand over that captain's armband to her?
I mean, amazing. I think for me it was a great experience, but again, to experience it with a lot of other players, younger players, having that feeling and knowing that we're all leaders in our own way, I think is really cool to be able to have those opportunities as young players.
Hey Trinity, your nails are awesome. You're not worried about them breaking?
Thank you. I'm about to get them taken off, but no, they haven't broke. I've had them for 2 weeks. I haven't scratched anyone, so yeah, we're hoping that we can continue to be cutesy little girls sometimes.
Right up front.
Hi, I'm Tamara Griffin with The Athletic. 2 questions. The first, I know we are just on the back of She Believes, which was a true tournament, but this playing Japan 3 times still feels like a huge moment, big opportunities for a lot of players, and so I'm just wondering if you can summarize how camp has gone up until this point, preparing for a big moment. And then a colleague of mine recently wrote a story about the White House pressuring FIFA to adopt the IOC's policies that would ban trans athletes from competing. President Trump is yet to sign off on the government-guaranteed bids for the 2031 World Cup, so just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I think starting off with camp, it's been nice to welcome back
Soph, Tiana and Jane back into the environment. Michelle Cooper too, who's not been with us for 6 months. I think there's a very visible, how do I put it, raising of levels. I think training's been exceptional, really has. It's some of the quickest football I've seen from us. And considering those players have been out a period of time, they've all fitted in seamlessly. Competition is hotting up, which is exactly what I want. When I put together 2 teams, there's not much that separates, like in training, and that's exactly what we demand. Because if in the few days we're together training in preparation for a game, that this environment is fierce, then it's not only the best game preparation, but it's also, I think, showing me that, one, we take training really seriously, but also that everybody's ready. And I think our group, as I've said it to them, playing Japan 12 months ago was a great moment, I think, in terms of how much the players had to really experience what a top-level team looked like. And they had to feel, you have to feel that, you have to be in that. And so I know that there's going to be some chomping at the bit in these. As I've said before, I'm going to play 2 different teams in game 1 and game 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to do game 3 yet. So everybody is up for it. You sort of feel that sense of we're playing a top opponent, and everybody, I think, wants to show how much we are improving. So yeah, that's really good. I think with regards to your second question, look, my job is to follow FIFA regulations or IOC regulations, and yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on the matter.
What else we got? Up front.
Hi, I'm Carlos Justice from Telemundo Bay Area and NBC Bay Area. We saw each other at the final of the She Believes Cup when you were going to play Japan, and you talked about how important it was for the younger players to be exposed to that. Then you came and played Brazil here, which was another tough game with like a lot of younger players. How do you see that transition? Because it seems like that team, and you talked about it back then, what you wanted was that transformation moving up to that 27 World Cup. How do you see that progress, and what you're most proud about the players that having these experiences?
Well, I think I always go back to the Olympics, and I always felt taking over a team didn't have a lot of time, that only a small group had a certain amount of experience. And it's not to say there wasn't enough talent, they just haven't been developed playing at the highest level. So my starting point is always then. And then if I look at the progress we've made, and we do it internally a lot with the players, this was our starting point, this is the progress we've made over this block. As a coach, the things I look for are all the tactical, technical, psychological, social elements that come with the team. And I think, oh my goodness, we've progressed so much. That doesn't mean you're entitled to win anything. What it means is that we're in a better position now than we were then. And I think understanding the way the team plays and applying that without having to think about it, I think that's at a higher level. It's so much easier for me to say whatever it is I need to say as a coach, and they're like, yeah, I already know those things, you know, because we've worked together for a period of time. So I'm especially excited about this camp because I know we're a good team, and of course I really respect Japan. I think probably throughout my career, they're probably the one team I've always been like a secret fan of. I love the way they play. I love the way they develop players. I have huge respect for them as a country, but we're a really good team. And I want us to demonstrate those things and bring the game to Japan. And that's what I'm most looking forward to, like showing our identity, both sides of the ball, at a much higher level than She Believes, or the tournament before. Like, it's just one step better, one day better. That's what I'm looking for.